The Antichrist and signs of his coming, biblical characteristics and warnings to Christians. The concept of the Antichrist is a subject of great intrigue and debate among Christians. Rooted in biblical prophecies, the Antichrist is believed to be a figure who opposes Christ and embodies characteristics that are antithetical to the teachings of the Bible. This video explores the characteristics of the Antichrist as described in the Bible, the signs of his coming, and the biblical warnings to Christians regarding this pivotal figure. Characteristics of the Antichrist. Deceptive nature. One of the most prominent characteristics of the Antichrist is his deceptive nature. The Bible warns that he will be a charismatic leader who can deceive many with his eloquence and charm. In 1 John 2 verse 18, it is written, "Children, it is the last hour, and as you have heard that Antichrist is coming, so now many Antichrists have come. Therefore we know that it is the last hour." This deceitful character will attempt to lead people astray from the truth. Blasphemy in opposition to God. The Antichrist is described as one who blasphemes God and opposes his divine authority. He exalts himself above all that is called God or is worshipped. In 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 4, it is stated, "Who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship so that he takes his seat in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God." This act of blasphemy and self-deification is a direct affront to the principles of monotheism. Imitation of Christ. The Antichrist is expected to imitate Christ, presenting himself as a false Messiah. In Matthew 24 verse 24, Jesus warns, "For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect." This imitation is intended to mislead believers, as the Antichrist performs false miracles and claims divine authority. Political and global power. The Antichrist is often associated with significant political and global power. In the book of Daniel, a vision portrays a little horn that emerges from a 10-horned beast, symbolizing a powerful, worldly leader. Daniel 7 verse 25 says, "He shall speak words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change the times and the law." This suggests that the Antichrist will have authority over nations and seek to alter established laws. Persecution of believers. The Antichrist is predicted to persecute and oppose true believers. In Revelation 13 verse 7, it is written, "Also, the beast was allowed to make war on the saints and to conquer them. And authority was given it over every tribe and people and language and nation." The persecution of believers is a manifestation of his opposition to God and the gospel. Signs and wonders. The Antichrist may perform signs and wonders to deceive people. In 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 9, it is stated, "The coming of the lawless one is by the activity of Satan with all power and false signs and wonders." These supernatural displays are intended to strengthen his deceptive influence and lead people away from the truth. The abomination of desolation. The concept of the abomination of desolation is a significant sign associated with the Antichrist. Mentioned in the book of Daniel and by Jesus in Matthew 24 verse 15, it refers to a sacrilegious event occurring in the holy place. This event is a clear indicator of the end times. 2. Signs of the Antichrist's coming. Apostasy. A pronounced apostasy or falling away from the faith is considered a precursor to the arrival of the Antichrist. In 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 3, it is written, "Let no one deceive you in any way. For that day will not come, unless the rebellion comes first, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction." This signifies a significant departure from the true faith. Increase in lawlessness. Jesus, in Matthew 24 verse 12, prophesies, "And because lawlessness will be increased, the love of many will grow cold." The rise in immoral behavior and disregard for God's laws is seen as an unmistakable sign of the end times. Wars and rumors of wars. Wars and conflicts are foretold by Jesus as a sign of the end times. In Matthew 24 verse 6, he says, "And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not alarmed, for this must take place, but the end is not yet." These conflicts are indicators of a world in turmoil. Natural disasters and calamities. Natural disasters and catastrophes are seen as signs of the Antichrist's coming. In Luke 21 verse 11, Jesus mentions, "There will be great earthquakes, and in various places famines and pestilences." These events reflect the unsettled state of the world. Persecution of believers. A rise in persecution against Christians is predicted as a sign of the Antichrist's coming. Matthew 24 verse 9 states, "Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and put you to death, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake." Persecution reflects the opposition to Christ's followers. The regathering of Israel. Some interpretations suggest that the regathering of Israel as a nation is a sign of the end times. This is based on various Old Testament passages, such as Ezekiel 36 and 37, which depict the restoration of Israel as a crucial end-time event. The spread of the gospel. Before the end comes, it is believed that the gospel will be proclaimed throughout the world. In Matthew 24 verse 14, Jesus says, "And this gospel of the kingdom will be proclaimed throughout the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come." This global
Similar
proclamation
events
is
are
seen
being
as a
held
sign of the
in
approaching
30
end
other
times.
countries.
The
Jews from
restraint are
all over
removed.
connected.
It's an incredibly
Thessalonians
unifying
2
force.
verse 7
Not
mentions
only
a
is it the
restrainer
personal
that holds back
accomplishment
the
of completing the
revelation of
entire
the Antichrist.
Talmud, but knowing you're doing it
Some
together with everybody.
interpretations
This
consider
leaves
this
an
to be a
impact
reference to the work of the
in
Holy
one's
Spirit
brain
on earth, suggesting
and
that
puts
when the
a
Holy Spirit is withdrawn,
a
the
beauty of
Antichrist will be
Judaism
revealed.
inside the person's
3.
soul.
Biblical
All of this
warnings to
comes at a
Christians.
time when anti-Semitic
Be
incidents
discerning.
are on the rise and
Christians
Jews are
urged to
feeling
be
less
discerning,
safe.
to test
It's
the
something
spirits,
New Jersey
not be
Governor Phil
easily
Murphy
swayed by
touched on
charismatic
at the
leaders
event
who may
today.
deceive
It's
them.
our job to make sure that we
1 John
stand
4
tall and
verse 1
strong and have
advises,
the backs of our
"Beloved,
Jewish
do
communities.
not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, for many false prophets have gone out into the world." Hold fast to the faith. In the face of increasing apostasy and lawlessness, believers are encouraged to remain steadfast in their faith. Hebrews 10 verse 23 emphasizes, "Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful." Endure persecution. As persecution is anticipated, Christians are reminded to endure and